being organized, probably number one. Making sure that they meet their deadlines, that they stay ahead of deadlines, that they ask questions. Another one would be good communication skills, just sending me messages now and then, letting me know what's going on and where they are in the class if they have questions.
The motivation and the perseverance are the two main things that I see in my successful students. They're motivated, again, to take responsibility with their learning. They figure out what needs to be done and they do it. If they need help, they contact the instructor, or they contact the e-learning help desk, or they contact whoever they need to help figure out the problem. They stick to it, they don't quit.
So even though our course shells typically have calendars and the assignments laid out, it is more dependent upon the student keeping his or her pace with that calendar than maybe having the structure of a set environment in which they go to it and they're constantly reminded. So that might be seen as liberating for some students, but it also might be considered more of a challenge for others who would prefer to have maybe the constant reminders up in your face as opposed to something you typically have to seek out.
If you're willing to email your instructor and share with your instructor and participate with other students and participate in discussions and really willing to interact, those students tend to do the best from what I've seen.
The student has to be a little more proactive. I'll send out emails. I will try to connect with the students as best I can, but it really does have to be two-way. The students have to be able and willing to come to me and say, I need this, or I have a late assignment. How do we fix that problem?
They're self-reliant, self-motivated, and they ask questions. They ask a lot of questions. I think the more questions you can ask, the more successful you can be, because I think then you're becoming engaged and you're owning that particular class. And I think students who are more engaged in discussions in that way with their instructors tend to do better.
But I think the main thing in art is it's the ones who are curious and interested in art who do well, so they stay well ahead of the schedules because they're interested in the subject. Also, students who like to read and write, that's a big advantage in this course since there's an awful lot of writing. There are written assignments every week, minimum 300 words a week and sometimes a lot more. So you really need to enjoy writing, and most of my students I think do enjoy writing. You can tell by the way they write.
So for me, when they say, when I hear what kind of students succeed, it's the students who are engaged. It's the students who are excited about the material. And I know that's hard, because sometimes you're like, but I'm a dental technician and I could care less about history.
For my class, we talk a good bit about look at the course as something you want to add to yourself, to your life, not just something you want to study. So hopefully after you've dedicated 16 weeks of your life to art appreciation, then you take away a learning, an energy, curiosity about art that you carry with you for the rest of your life.
Enjoy every minute of it because it's fun and it's a learning experience. It's, again, don't think of it as a job or a task. Think about it as an experience and how you can integrate it into your life. Take every assignment and everything that you read and think about how you can apply it to your life. Why is this important to learn? And I think if you do that and you think about learning as a process rather than just a task that you need to do to hit an end goal, I think you'll have a much better experience with the course.